This is NBC Connecticut News at 11.
And mystery at sea, new information on the honeymooner who disappeared from his cruise cabin, George Smoth, and what the FBI now knows. All right, Bob, mystery at sea. It is one of the biggest unsolved murder cases in Greenwich history. Well, now there's new information on George Smoth, the honeymooner who disappeared from his cruise cabin back in 2005. Now, this new evidence is uncovered in the cover story on the June issue of Greenwich magazine. Editor Cristin Marandino is here with the details. Cristin, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So I've got to ask you and talk to you about this. The case is far from cold. Officials are closer than ever to making an arrest. So tell us, what have you learned?
We've learned, actually, there are a bunch of new things, which is the most exciting thing about this story and why Greenwich magazine decided to pursue this story. We were lucky enough to have some local ties and connections with the attorney, Mike Jones, who's handling the case, who could provide us with some new information that actually hadn't been reported. And one of the biggest pieces that really, I think, is going to really help push this forward is that there's a videotape that is in existence, and it's with the FBI. And on that videotape, there are subjects who make very self-incriminating statements following George Smoth's death.
People at home are probably thinking, okay, 2005, it's been many years. Why has this videotape now surfaced? Are you even at liberty to tell me some of that, or not really?
There's a lot that we can't say, but what I can say is also you can't forget that there's a lot of international laws that were at play here. There were a lot of different people who had their hands on the evidence in Turkey and Italy and the United States and different states here. So there were a lot of cooks in the kitchen. So hopefully it's really moving forward now.
You know, I've read Greenwich magazine. This is not the typical story that you have. I mean, things have really turned the corner for you guys, and Greenwich magazine may really be able to bring these murders to justice. I mean, that's a big coup for you guys.
Well, we hope so. And George Smoth, obviously a Greenwich resident, his family Greenwich residents, Mike Jones a Greenwich resident, so all of the Greenwich ties. And like I said, we decided to kind of get in the game now with this story 7 years later because of the information that we got from those local ties. So
we were talking about a lot of inconsistencies with this case, and you would ask someone on the street and they would say, well, the wife did it, or she was a prime suspect. Everybody seems to have just misinformation. So I'm asking you, have you talked to the wife? Have you talked to George Smoth's family? What are they saying about this? Because this really just kind of changes the whole game of the case.
Absolutely. Yes, George Smoth's family was very involved in this story, and so we actually are quite honored that they trusted us with this story. And they are very happy with it. There's a lot of information here, and there's a lot to pack into a few thousand words, but Tim Dumas, our writer who handled the Martha Moxley case way back when, really did a beautiful job of weaving all of this together and helping put all the pieces and separating out those inconsistencies, like the wife, and she has been exonerated.
Yeah, that's not true. She has nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
Okay. Very, very interesting stuff. And again, as far as this article, it goes in depth. It goes in depth. What do you think the person at home reading it is going to take away from it?
Well, I hope they take away that the inconsistencies that have been out there, that they learn things that are in fact not true, and piece together with this new information. While there can't be a final answer to it because the case has not been solved, let them come to their conclusions as to what the story is.
All right, put the pieces of the puzzles together after you read it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.
Pleasure.
And again, Greenwich magazine, that issue is on stands in June.
It's on stands today.
Today already? Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.